Hey everyone! So I wanted to make a video for some of the younger viewers, some of the younger girls. I don't think I have any younger viewers because for the most part, I don't know, I do play video games, so I don't know, but this is pretty much for the younger viewers or anybody who is really concerned about the period, that time of the month, Aunt Flo. For whatever reason you're watching this video, welcome. So let's begin. So if you haven't actually gotten your period or Aunt Flo, and you're watching this video, kudos, because you're trying to get a head start pretty much. Whether you found this video or whether somebody pretty much referred you to this video, kudos. Let me just rehearse the same thing that everyone told me when I had gotten mine. Good for you! This is a natural process. This shows that you can have babies. This shows that you are a healthy young lady. Do not be scared. Everyone goes through it. And so on, and so on, and so on. For the most part, they would be correct. But I will be talking about that later on. What I'm trying to say is the warnings, things they will not tell you when you have your period. But first, let's go through why you have your period. Now, normally you would be getting this talk during sex ed, but if your parents didn't sign that letter to, I don't know, I think you're supposed to still sign a letter to get sex ed, but I'm not too sure. Or if you weren't paying attention like some of us, chances are you didn't get any of that information. Or you just didn't care. Let's begin, and I hope that, we already began, but I hope I make this video as short as possible. Okay, you see the ovaries? They're the two little white balls that are just hanging out. Those sit right above these little tubes called fallopian tubes. Right around ovulation time, which as you could see, the numbers in green, this is pretty much right around ovulation time. Now, I'm not going to go deep into the hows and whens and whys. I'm just going to go through the basics. Now, I'm just going to touch on the numbers, and you can read the chances of getting pregnant as I scroll by. Now, people's bodies are different, and when it comes down to the human body, everything is different from one person to another. There are people with 3-day periods, there are people with 7-day periods. There are people with, I had a friend that had an 8-day period. It was crazy. I think the 8-day period is very, very rare, but I'm not too sure. From the first day of your period, that starts your cycle off. Now, I did not know that because nobody told me about this. The last day of your cycle obviously is one day before you start spotting or you start full-blown bleeding. Pretty simple, right? Okay, so let's go over. The day 1 on your cycle is right when you have your period. Whether it's spotting or it's full-blown bleeding. The very last day is the day before you start spotting or bleeding. Now, what's spotting? Well, spotting is pretty much you bleeding out a small amount of blood, not enough to fill a panty liner or a pad. What's a panty liner? Trust me, I'll let you know about that later. Sometimes, well, for the most part, spotting will be brown. And what we call that is old blood. It is absolutely nothing to worry about. Nothing. If you see little bit of brown blood, that just means that you could be starting your period. Let me also say, if you are sexually active and you've had unprotected sex, or if something went wrong, knock on wood, and you are spotting a little bit of brown blood, that could also be implanting. But we're going ahead. However, if you're not sexually active, don't worry about that. So to go over it, brown blood equals old blood. Your cycle can be either 28 days. Mine was actually before I had complications. I'm not going to say what they were, but before I had complications, I had a 21-day cycle. But you can have it from 28 days or 32 days. Mine is 28 days now. So again, your cycle can be up to 28 days or 32 days. Your cycle depends on when you ovulate. If you are constantly late, and when I mean about late, I mean you're supposed to start on the 1st, okay? July the 1st. But you haven't started until the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, whatever. It's okay to be maybe a day or two late, but if you're days late, and this is constant, it's not like it's once in a while, it's a constant thing. You might have an irregular period. This may affect you later on in life. Talk to your gynecologist about it. The way that it will affect you later on in life is you want to have a baby, but you don't know exactly when you're ovulating. So you're trying the ovulation sticks. You can't really pinpoint an exact day unless you have those ovulation sticks, because your ovulation is all over the place. Just remember what I said. Your cycle depends on your ovulation. You have to find out why you have irregular periods, or if you can actually fix that. If you actually do that, your future you will thank you. So if you're having an irregular period and it's constant, then do yourself a favor and talk to your OBGYN. This is a must. And this is even if it's constant. You may not care about it now, but you may care about it later. Okay, let's move on. So the ovary spits out an egg during your ovulation time. It travels down that fallopian tube and goes into the uterus, which is this little area. Your egg will hang out there for a little bit, and then, if I'm not mistaken, it will dissolve. If you do not get pregnant, you see these little, it's like kind of like a whitish, pinkish little wall kind of area right over there. Okay. those walls would shed some of a layer of blood. I'm just going to say it as blood. Some people say it's not blood, but I'm just going to say it's blood. So, it's going to shed the lining of the walls, which is why you bleed. It goes down the cervix, then the vagina, and then it hits your pad, or hopefully it'll hit your pad. I wanted to show you this little diagram of where girls pee from, because some, like it's a little confusing when you're just starting out. You don't know your entire body, so let me just explain. All right. So this big thing, as you could see, it's the uterus. It's being pointed out as the uterus. We discussed that that's where, you have your period. That's where babies are made. Some girls pretty much don't know that you don't pee from your uterus. So as you could see, the bladder is right under the uterus. See, there it is. And as you could see in this diagram, the uterus has one canal and the bladder has another one. It seems like it's coming out of one straight hole, but it's not. It's two different holes. The hole for the urine is very small, so it kind of like, you assume that it would be one giant tube. I'm trying to pick out my words wisely. I think I failed that. The tube for the bladder, where you pee, is the urethra. The tube where babies are made, the vagina. But even though they are not the same, they still live together harmoniously. Now, if you don't mind, I would like to give you some tricks and tips and tricks. Oh my goodness, I just reversed that. Tip number 1. Now, if this is before you actually have your period, let's just say your mother might have gone through menopause already, doesn't have any pads in the house. Maybe your father is a single parent and you don't have any females in the house but you. Before you even get your period, listen to me. This is very important. Because once you have your period, it's going to be a little difficult to run out to the store to get pads, unless you're going to wad up some toilet paper and shove it down there and then run out to get pads. So do yourself a favor. Plan ahead. 12 years old, 13 years old, somewhere around that range, 11 maybe. Grab some Always pads with wings and keep it right by the toilet. Make sure that it's stored away, maybe in a closet, a little closet or something. But make sure that it's close to the toilet. It doesn't hurt to actually have them on hand. You know what I mean? So plan ahead. My next tip is, don't use tampons just yet. You just started your period. And to be honest, if you're not in the groove of just changing, yourself, tampons can be slightly dangerous. There was a story where a girl started her period, and you're going to probably laugh and think it's stupid or funny. It happens, and it could happen to you. She had her period. She was starting her period off, and she started using tampons. She didn't remember that she put a tampon up there, and I think it was just very small. I don't recall why she did this or why she couldn't remember, but she stuck another one up there. She realized her mistake, and she actually had to go to the hospital, get them both removed. It was, I don't know why, it was just one of those things where they had to get it removed. The only reason why I don't know all the details is because I didn't go through the details. I didn't ask the girl, why did you do that? How did this happen? Why did you have to go to the hospital? Couldn't you have taken him out? I didn't go through those details. I just was like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. So yeah, start off with pads. Get your groove and then work towards tampons. My next tip is, if you're in that age range where you know you're going to probably get your period sometime soon, you could do two things to make sure that your family outings or you just going out to school or whatever would make you feel a little more comfortable. Take a pad or two and if you want to like camouflage it or just cover it up, get like a small little Dollar Tree makeup bag. Put it in there and then just jam it all the way down into your bag. If you want to get slightly advanced with that, have the two pads, and there are these vagina wipes, which that's what they pretty much are. Summer's Eve. That's the name brand. I was gonna say St. Ives. Summer's Eve wipes, and just take one and put it right with the pads. I still do that, and I've never really needed them, but it's always good to have, or sometimes your friend may need it. And you'll be that superhero with the pad and the wipe. If you want to go even further, you can like take two little chocolate bars and like put it right into your kit. But yeah, I mean, that's just something that's If you want to get really advanced, what I would say is get thin, cheap stretchies, leggings or whatever. Make sure they're fairly, I don't know, not small, but you're able to roll it up and put it in one of those little bags. Make sure you get black, obviously, just in case you didn't realize that you were having your period and you bleed right through your pants. That is embarrassing. You could also pick up some thinner ones, bike shorts, roll them up, put them right in with the little kit that you made for yourself. And I'll tell you why I'm suggesting this. So I went onto a family trip. This is actually my story. I went on to a family trip. Everybody was having a good time. And then all of a sudden, my friend turned around and told me that I had a red spot on my pants. She was like, you must have sat in something because there's red all over your pants. And I wasn't prepared. We were at Hershey Park and I was sort of having a good time up until that point. So I go to the bathroom. I find out that I just got my period. I'm bleeding everywhere. It's such a mess. I try to clean up as best as I can in a public bathroom. But as you can possibly imagine, it wasn't a lot. I borrowed someone's shirt to wrap around myself, and I had to stay there all day long with the icky feeling that I had my period. One of the girls actually had a pad, so I was thankful for that, but it was still just an icky feeling. It was not, I was not feeling clean at all. It was a terrible, terrible feeling. And I had to sit through that the entire day. So yeah, that's what I suggest you do. Now I'm going to tell you something that no one will tell you. Remember when I said that people will tell you, oh, it's great, you're healthy, you can have children. And you really don't think much of it. You get your period, you think, okay, I'm going to be able to have kids, and that's all there is to it. And you're not really worried about having kids at this point. All you're thinking about is, oh, I got my period. Cool. I'm healthy. Great. You're not even thinking, oh, great, I'm healthy. You're thinking, oh my goodness, this is embarrassing. Ooh, I forgot to tell you one more tip. So now you have your period, okay? And you're thinking to yourself, when is it best to buy pads? The best time to buy pads is actually in the middle of you having your period. For the most part, when you're buying pads during your period, you feel like everybody is judging you. Everybody has eyes on you. This is just, I don't know, like for some reason, that's how I felt when I was on my period. I felt so paranoid, like it was just crazy. I felt a little bit more comfortable buying pads during the ovulation cycle in the middle of having my period. You know what I mean? So I would get my pads a week before, or 2 weeks before, it doesn't matter. And then I would just let them hang out. Nowadays for me, it doesn't matter when I buy my pads because I don't even care. But when you're in that fragile state of mind, you just do it like that. Trust me, it'll make you feel a whole lot better. So yeah, back onto what no one will tell you or talk about. Hopefully this won't take too long, but I just want you to be aware. Even though you have your period, you still can be infertile. For whatever reason, you can be infertile. What's infertile? It's the inability to have a baby. So I'm just throwing that out there so when time comes for you to actually try to have a baby, you were kind of informed. So before you actually try to have a baby, talk to your OBGYN. See if they'll test you. I don't know. And with infertility, there is also that talk of miscarriages. What is a miscarriage? A miscarriage is something that you get pregnant, and somewhere in between getting pregnant, which is called conceiving, and having a baby, actually bringing home a baby, complications arise, and the life that you have created dies. Yes, it can happen. Once that life dies, it falls out of your body or you have to get it surgically removed. This is stuff that people never told me. I've had 4 miscarriages already. And I feel like it would have been great for somebody to actually talk to me about it. before I had a miscarriage. The statistic on miscarriages is 1 in 4 pregnancies, you can have a miscarriage. Any other information on infertility or things that revolve around miscarriages / stillborns, you can look that up yourself. But just know that I warned you ahead of time. Now, before I go, I would like to take this time to let you know your body is your body. It isn't your mom's, it isn't your father's, and it certainly ain't your husband's, your boyfriend's. If you don't want to do anything with your boyfriend, don't. Don't let anyone tell you, oh, well, he could get it somewhere else. If he could get it somewhere else, then go. Be my guest. Don't be pressured. And if you actually want to do something, well, the statistics of getting pregnant when you're really young, or when you're, when you just get your period and, are extremely high. Just be warned that if that guy pressures you into having sex, or if you're cool with having sex, just know that maybe, just maybe, that guy will leave you if you get pregnant. Cover your own ends. If you're going to have sex and you don't know where to get condoms, talk to your doctor, your guidance counselor. Talk to someone that you trust. Ask them to provide you the necessary tools to make sure that you are not going to get pregnant. I remember I actually was going to this one place. It was called The Door. It was a teen center, and they just threw them out like candy. They were just giving them away like candy. Condoms was just, here you go, here you go, here you go. Doesn't matter. They even gave flavored ones out. It was crazy. I was just like, wow, this is a party up in here. And to be honest, I did not need it. But I had a brother, and I knew that he was around that age for him to just start doing things. So I packed all of the condoms that I had gotten, and I gave them to him. I didn't want him to actually use them, but I didn't want him to get any girl pregnant, so it is what it is. All I have to say is, young ones, be safe. Don't be pressured. And if you're forced to do something that you don't want to do, let me be the first one to tell you. If you say no, and the person thinks it's a yes, I don't care how skimpy you're dressed. I don't care if he thinks that you didn't put up a big enough fight. If you said no, then the person should have backed up off of you and left you alone. When you said no, it ain't your fault. Do not hold any grief on that. Believe me, I know how that feels. It is your body, and no one has the right to put their hands on you. It's called personal space. And if you feel like no one cares about you, I'm going to tell you, I care. You may not know me, but you've been listening to me for 30 minutes. I didn't have to do this video. I'm not getting money from this video. And I'm probably not going to get any, well, not saying any, but I'm probably not going to get a lot of views. But if I can talk to just at least one person, and if that one person is you, please know somebody cares. If you need to talk to somebody, put it in the comments section, or I think you could private message on YouTube. But if you need somebody to talk to, I'll be here. And if somebody did something to you, talk to your parents. Talk to a school guidance counselor. Talk to anybody that you could trust. Because in the end, like I told you, your body is your body. Now I've been rambling on, so if you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to put it in the comments section below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And yeah, I'm probably going to be talking about tampons later on, but I don't know when, I don't know how, I don't know. I'm going to be going on vacation, so maybe it'll be after vacation. We'll see what happens. I don't know. All I want to say again is be safe, and thank you for watching my video, even though it's 32 minutes long. So, yeah. Talk to you later. Bye!